What's up, Techies, and welcome to today's live stream on Lex from Techies Reviews. And I'm thrilled to have you all here with us. Who's in the chat? Let's see. Who's there chatting? For those who are new, I'm Lex, and on this channel we look to at exciting web tech and have some chill vibe conversations. And today I have something exciting to look for because Blockera has released the Pro version, and that's something that I really want to look. I have it open right there on the screen. I'm very excited to take a look and show you guys what they have and how they are doing these kinds of things. Hello, Jimmy. How are you doing? Nice of you to join today. It's amazing. The topics that I want to cover for Blockera specifically is to see what is Blockera itself, what are the advantages, and have some Q&A as well. There were some questions on the YouTube channel already about Blockera Pro and Blockera itself, so maybe we can take a look and answer them as well. So without further looking into it, let's dive right in, right? I don't know. Hello, Caprian. I hope I pronounced your name right. I'm very bad at those names kind of things. Also want to see if we can put on some chill music. There's too many options here. I'm afraid to pick any of them, so I won't. Let's just dive right in to the next scene. There we go. So this is Blockera, and I need to get used to the new studio stream kind of thing that I'm using. Wave.video, could buy it for reasonably priced, so I'm still getting used to the software itself. But if we are diving into Blockera, what is Blockera? Blockera allows you to enhance the site builder that they have. WordPress has Gutenberg, as you might have known. Let's quickly just show you, right? It's better to show than tell. So for demos, I usually use InstWP. You can create an instant website, and in a few seconds, it's already up, and you can make it permanent, and you can just test out things if you'd like to. Well, when we press login, we go into our WordPress dashboard. That's the back office or backhand or whatever you might call it. Hello, Ali. Nice of you to join. Love to see if I will be missing things or not. So let's dismiss this one. And if we look at the default state of Gutenberg, and we'll add a new post, for example. Hello, little brother. How nice of you to join as well. Let's see. Let's get you over my face as well. Look, I'm still here. I guess I need to position myself differently. This is too funny. Let's put myself on the other side so that you don't overlay me, please. But this is the Gutenberg editor. If we open it up and we add, for example, a nice left to right section, right? You have the hero section usually on the page. Let's just build a traditional one. We'll add a row. I don't know why they decide to call it row, but it is what it is. And then we add in a heading. We can do that really quickly. Say, hello world. I see you. We can open up the with the staircase what needs to be shown. And as we can see, when we press row, it will show everything side by side. We don't want that, so we go in here and we change it to group, and we add let's see. I did that wrong because what we need to do is still add a stack. Let's add a stack right there. And then we'll put in our title and paragraph as well. As you can see, you can easily drag and drop it in. And now we want to style the options. Now you have preset styles right here that you can easily select and click, but they are not that flexible. You only have these options. And if you want to make changes, you need to do that in a theme.json. I really dislike that, but that's something that maybe Blockera will change. And if we go in here, we can make minor changes. We can change our colors. We can even change the background of the hero section. We can change the sizing. And if we want to do something different, we can open up with the 3 dots what is available right now. But if we want to add something else, it's gonna be a little bit difficult, because you can add padding and margins, but there's some functionality that is not available. I need to discover which one actually is, because they have upgraded it pretty nicely actually with a view width and view height. If we want this is to be a grid and flow, you can set it up as well. We can add a border and border radius. And if we look at the stack, you see that there's also some kinds of things that are available. If we look at styling, we also have some preset styling and colors that we can select right here. We can add a color, a background, a typography, some margins. So most of the basic stuff are there. But if you want a little bit more flexibility, you'll be missing that one. And I will show you soon. Let's add also an image right here. Image. And put it in the row. And if we want this to be 50%, can we set it to 50%? Something like that. Now here's where things go wrong, right? If you want to make a nice hero section, and this image needs to be 50% of the space, we can set it up right now. Perhaps if we try to do that with some images, let me see if I have something available. And no, you won't be seeing that right now because I'm just sharing my browser screen. So I'm looking in my downloads and we can upload this nice image that you saw on social today. By the way, I created it in Figma. I really like using Figma for those kind of things. Really simple, but nice. And now it's uploading. Hopefully it's a little bit faster than this. Come on, come on. All right. But there was a limitation that you couldn't do everything in there. If you're experienced designer or creator like me, then you will notice that sometimes, this is a very good example. If you add a button, the image is taking too long. I'm very impatient. But if we add a button. What's up, Bogdan? How are you doing? Nice of you to join as well. If we add a button, we can't change the hover state. It is defined somewhere. I guess it's in the theme.json and you can't adjust it, which is a bit of a pickle because I want to change the hover state. We can do make changes to the radii if you want to set it to 1 rem or something like that. It gets a little bit prettier and we say hello world as well. I just want to show that you said what's up. Nice. And maybe we can call it button. And if we add something before that, we want to have another button, but we can't change the hover state. Also, there are some changes that are not available right now. For instance, the margin is not something you can set for buttons. And what if we want to set a gap inside of here? We see that there's nothing available to allocate that. Maybe it's called block spacing. It looks like it. It's funny that we discovered together how this works as well. We can do pretty basic stuff, actually. I'm a bit surprised. I have not looked into Gutenberg editor a whole lot, as you can imagine. And this is an hello text. Let's see if we can make changes to this one, right? We can add an image, open library. There we go. Our nice image for today. And I don't want this to be 50 pixels. I want this to be 50%. And as we can see, we cannot set this. We can set some preset aspect ratios, and those settings can be changed inside of the theme.json. But I dislike that you have to dive into another party to do those kinds of things. And that's where Blockera is coming in handy. Please don't forget the lack of responsive breakpoints. Yeah, that's very much true. If we make the screen smaller, you see that it just crops, but doesn't change how it looks. I wonder if we can change it right here. If we can change the rotation and then go back to desktop. It's not that intuitive, unfortunately. So, as you can quite imagine, there are some few things that are missing. And Blockera solves that because we can change it to a editor and then you have responsive controls. But it also allows and adds different kind of stylings in there. It feels similar to what you would expect if you get Webflow whatsoever. Fishing HTML support finishing. All right. They are fake buttons. There. All right. I won't be highlighting that one. Intrinsic design. Yeah. The idea of intrinsic design is good, but if people don't know how to implement it, then it still is very difficult. So very good points all around. Deal breaker. So now let me show you how we can make those changes, right? We go to plugins, and Blockera already has a free version available in the repository. We can install it now. And then hit activate. If we do that here, we need to agree and opt in for sharing things to make the plugin better. Let's just share it because we are good guys. We want this to be improved, especially because it's free. We have real buttons. Nice. There are also other tools that also have real buttons, for instance, Web Studio. But today we're looking into Blockera. And now if we look at something, we look at, for instance, this section, we see that we have a different styling. We can still use the presets that are already available from the block theme, and we can add in the future custom variables. I'm very excited about this one. Also, we still have our presets because those are available right here. And as you can see, as I hover over them, the color changes respectively. And also, those will be available in the future as well. And I'm very excited about that one as well. But as we can see, we can do a lot of more changes. If you want to change the typography, I have my row selected instead of my heading right here, which means that I can make changes to the custom typography in the section. If I want it to be red, you can see that the text is already changing to red. And in here, we see that it has got the first color that we set up within Gutenberg, and that it applies here as well. If you want to reset it, you can hover over text color and then press reset to default. And as you can see, now it turns red. And we didn't change the color to red right here, but we did do that in this section. Now you're wondering, what if I forget to change the color? If I remember correctly, there was a button somewhere that you can see where the colors were set, but maybe I'm mistaken a little bit. What is nice here is that you can see what kind of things you will be adding or changing. It has a little bit explainer if you're new to adding those kinds of things and making changes, right? I don't know what text color does. It sets the color of the text within the block, playing a crucial role, that sounds a little bit AI-ish, in enhancing readability, attracting attention, and maintaining consistent branding, which is right. If you have consistent coloring, then you have consistent branding as well. We can also set the default colors that are available from the variables, and those are defined in the style. And we can make those work. Now, I was talking about the hover state, right? On the button. First, let's fix this because it's really annoying me, actually. So we need to scroll down inside of styles. We also have general settings. Ooh, get that. Upgrade to Pro. We need to upgrade to Pro to add custom HTML attributes. Good reminder. There is a Pro version available, and here we already see what will be available there. Now, if you are very annoyed by this Pro version kind of thing, you can disable it, and you need to go to Blockera and then go to the general settings. And if you scroll down, you have other settings and opt out of Pro hints and promotions. If you enable that one, like this section right here, it will be removed. So if you're very annoyed by it, you can just remove it, which is very nice. Instead of shoving it in your face all the time, just like Elementor does. It's nice. But back to the matter at hand. Because we want to change the size of this image. Let's apply a little bit of radius as well. I like my rounded corners. And let's add a 50% width. And as you can see, I typed in 50%. And it changed from pixel to percent. If I do it again, it changes. You see? That's awesome. Now, let's do the same for this stack. I don't want any other changes. I just want this to be 50% as well. And now it's 50% inside of the row. We can also make changes to our grid, and we can make changes to the alignment of our text. And as you can see, we can all define that right in here instead of needing to go to a specific element to do those changes, just like we can with using custom CSS. Ooh, Holly, you got competition. HTML attributes are free in Web Studio. Maybe it will change in the future, but for now, it's what it is, right? We can also make changes to everything that's inside of here. If we have headings, we can select headings, and then it turns red, and you see the heading hover. Now you can see that you can't change everything directly in there. It's all meant for pro options, so remember that. The same goes when we want to add different states. I don't know which one. I thought there were some of the states that were also for pro, but it looks like it is all working, so it's fine. And as you can see, there's a lot of options that you can add. You can add image gradients instead of just a static background. So if we want something, make something special, like a gradient, look at that special little gradient that we have created. That looks awesome. I really like it. So we leave it as is. But we saw that there are hints of where Pro will be available. The same goes for the flex alignment of the childs and other kinds of things. If we look at animations, in the future, there will be a lot of scroll animations already also available. I hope they will be using the WAPI or the Web API, Web Animation API, because I'm very excited about that one to explore that one. It's a built-in browser animation library that looks a little bit similar to Motion.dev, where you can put in JavaScript or CSS to do some animations. Not all browsers have that right now, but it's something very exciting to see. And as you can see, we have some pro options right here. Luckily, I have the pro version, so let me set it up so that we can see the differences. And let's see. Let's hide you right here. Let's get add a plugin, and I will upload one. Now I'm busy with setting up Blockera Pro, and let's install it right now. I will also activate it. Activation is so seamless. It's amazing to have if it works, because I'm pressing. All right, this is something that I should show, I guess. I just installed Blockera Pro, and when I try to activate Pro license in an InstaWP environment, it doesn't seem to like it. So I don't know what's happening right now. Ali, could you help me? All right. I also see some other messages from Bogdan. By the way, you look into memory builders. Can you paste HTML and get native structure in any of them? Let's find out, right? We can add... for Edge, you can do that in... and PineGrow lets you paste an HTML, CSS, and JS directly into the builder interface. Bricks has an add-on, Advanced Themer, that lets you paste in as well. And Green Shift, has something as well, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's true. And it does an amazing thing to have that. It feels like Copan, but then on storage. It looks that we have encountered a bug. Awesome. It's what happens, right? It's the famous demo effect that you get, those sort of things. But it's fine. We can still continue on with showing the power of Blockera. Because when we look at these blocks right here, they are all native core blocks. They haven't added a lot of extra blocks in here. I will show you an example, of course, because if we install, for instance, my favorite Gutenberg block editor until now, perhaps, and we install and activate it, we have options to set up those kinds of things. So let's do professional only. And if we then look at the page, and then we'll add a new page, let's just take a look at the one that we have already created. And we look at the things that are available. You see that there's a lot of elements that now have been added to here. So you have a lot of extra green shift elements, which can be something that you would like to. For instance, there's no default countdown element available for green shift. And we have green shift extra blocks. And as you can see, it does clutter a little bit of the blocks that are available. Now we can manage those. We can go to preferences and then into blocks and disable the ones that we don't need. But there's a catch as well. Because if we want to add a paragraph element, I don't know if this is still an issue. Let's see. And we add another text element. I don't see it's available right here. If I remember correctly, if we now disable blocks, the default paragraph, if you want to add another one, it gets difficult. They have fixed it. That's nice. So I can't demo it anymore. So that's nice. First, we couldn't add, you couldn't then add another block or use anything in the shortcuts but they have fixed that, luckily. But either way, that's not really a problem of green shift. As you can see, there's a lot of blocks that have been added. And if it can clutter up your sidebar a lot, and you can disable them by going to preferences into blocks and then disable the ones that you don't need. But what if we just keep it simple, especially for users, and we want to delete green shift? Let's test that out, right? So I will add a def element here and some HTML and a paragraph. I'll say hello world. And this is a paragraph. And if we hit save, I wonder what will happen if we disable the plugin from GreenShift. Let's deactivate it. Let's go back to our posts and go back into our... You see that there's something happening to our GreenShift blocks. They are literally gone. So if we made a lot of changes, our content is suddenly gone. And that's not a very good experience. We can keep it as HTML, but yeah, that's not really manageable for the people that are using this, I guess, right? So it's not the best experience. Now, I wonder what will happen if we disable Blockera. So let's go back into plugins, deactivate Blockera, and also Blockera Pro. Then let's go back to our posts and remove this one. And as we can see, although it looks ugly, our content is still there. It has not been removed. The only thing that is removed are some of our stylings, because we don't see the colors from the text right here, but we do see that there's a gradient in the background of this row. Let's see if we can still see it. Yeah, in the background is still set. So you won't lose a lot of changes that you have made. Whilst when deinstalling or deactivating GreenShift, you lose your content and your styling. And in this case, you only lose your styling. So that's a very big advantage if you ask me when using Blockera. And by the way, although I cannot show what's in Blockera Pro, they do have a Pro version. It now has a lifetime deal and will be adding a lot of more things. But first, let's see what the differences are, right? With the Pro version, you have the same amount of blocks because they're using the core block, so that won't change. But you have more breakpoints. And you can add your custom breakpoints. Now, they are not there yet because they're still in development, but it's coming. We can add advanced states like we saw, but it was disabled right now. And in the future, we can add custom states, but also custom CSS classes. With custom states, I assume they mean that you can add other hover states or whatsoever. And if that's not available within the default block states, then you can add them manually. And adding custom CSS class, I am assuming that is already available. And also I'm assuming that this is a different way of working. Perhaps something similar to what what's called Webflow has, that you can select some classes. You can add and edit variables, which are the easy presets that we have seen, right? Let's activate. Let's activate it. Go to posts. Go to no title. Which one we were looking at? Oh, editing new variables. So this green button, they can add variables, and instead of having the basic ones, you can add the colors that you want to use. So that's a very welcome change. We can add advanced inner block options. And those inner block options were available when we selected, for example, the row. We have headings, we have paragraphs, we have buttons, we have links, and they're all available. And as we can see, we can make changes when we have the Pro version to each selector. You can also set multiple box shadows, which means that you can make very realistic box shadows. I'm very excited about that one, actually. I've tried it out in the Pro version, but suddenly it didn't work anymore on InstaWP in that case. We can set up multiple backgrounds. We have some transitions that we can use, transform. So those are more advanced kind of things that you can set up. Multiple backgrounds, filters, text shadows. And as you can see, we can add a lot of things. Mouse interaction settings. Ooh, that looks amazing. In the future, they also will have ACF integration. I'm so saddened that I have Ditch Engine and no ACF Pro version or whatsoever, because there's a lot of things that Pro version has that I can now not use. But it's what it is. See ya, little brother, and hello, Dave. How are you doing? In the future, they also add animations. I'm very excited about this one. They will be adding dynamic data items. And as you can see, there are a lot of plans. Now, one thing that I can recommend is don't buy things on plans. Buy it if you like it very much. I like to support Blockera in that case. So I need to see how we can set it up. And doing these live streams will help, of course. Now, as you can see, there are only 11 units left for 50% off. And if you're interested in Blockera as well, you can check out that QR code that's up there. And you can also visit teggis.li/Blockera Pro to check it out, and you will be taken there instantly. And if you do make the purchase, I will get a little bit of commission, which will fund my happy project, side project, happy hobby project, like these live streams, right? So that would be wonderful if you could consider that. But guys, let me know, what do you think of Blockera? I think it's amazing. I think it's a very fresh approach. Instead of adding a lot of different what's it called, blocks inside of Gutenberg, this makes it using the simple block editor, and just really levels up and gives a very big power up just to use it. I think it's very, very awesome that they have done it this way. And then when you deinstall it, it doesn't matter because everything is still there. So I really love it, and will definitely still be following Blockera. And like I said earlier, here's the QR code if you intend to purchase it for 50% off at 11 units left. So be aware, because it will be expensive, more expensive after the 11 units. So now for the Q&A section, there were some questions that people have asked. Show the responsive breakpoints. All right. A question from Ali. Show the responsive breakpoints. I think he's very happy with the responsive breakpoints. So let's indulge him, right? As we can see, we can change the responsive breakpoints right here. And if we look on mobile, it doesn't look as good. So we need to make those changes. If we select a row, we can make it in a way in the flex options that instead of from left to right, we go from top to bottom. As you can see, suddenly everything changes. We can also, this feels like a little bit like what's called Figma. That's a really nice experience. And as you can see, we can make changes accordingly if you're on mobile, instead of hoping that intrinsic design does what you want. And if we flip back to desktop, it will make those changes and will make it look good as well there. This is really awesome. That is available. I'll have to check it out properly. Yeah, you really should, because the default options from Blockera 3 is already amazing, actually. And if you know how to do what's called theme.json, you get pretty far with setting these up. But if you're like me, don't like to fidget around in the custom variables, there's something coming soon. But it's really worth checking out, because they're using the default things that are available. Thank you for reminding me, Ali. Now, there was a question from someone on the YouTube channel. Do you see possibilities and disadvantages using Buildarius and the Blockera Pro together? Let's find out, right? because we're here to just to test it out, and let's see what happens. That's what I like about my live streaming. Let's see if we can break things. Let's install it and hit activate. And if we press it again, it will add these. Let's install the base version. I feel like it's a little bit redundant because you get Build Darius, which is a page builder, together with Blockera, which is also a little bit of a page, which is a page builder. So I wouldn't know why you would use both of them, but just for indulging, let's see what happens, right? Ooh, I'm also curious what will happen if we select this one and we make it a component. A pattern, we can make it a test pattern, and for our hero sections, we add it. We can edit the original. We can select this one. Whoops, an error occurred. We're really already breaking things. You're welcome. Let's see, we can enable overrides. For instance, title. And for this one, we can go into advanced and call this paragraph. And we go in here, go into advanced and enable overrides button. And if we hit save and hit save again, we go back. And now inside of our component, we can make changes to only the specific things that we have set up. Now I can't change the images you can see, and I can't change the background, which makes this very awesome if you want to make pre-styled sections. And with Blockera, you have a lot of control over the design instead of utilizing the theme.json and trying to set it up and all the responsiveness that's not available. And if we want to add another section, and we find our hero, I didn't want what I call my component actually, a test. So we can find test in here as well, and we can add another one. And if we make changes here, by world, we see that we only change in this instance. But if we add the original, we select this one. I see that there's something wrong with Blockera, but it's fine. And we make changes to one synced pattern, and we go back. We should see the pattern being updated here as well. Yes, that's the change that I made, right? Yellow. I guess there's something going wrong, but I cannot I cannot see why. A plugin conflict happened. So that could be something with green shift. It could be something with build areas as well. I'm wondering what will happen if we open up in build areas. If I remember correctly, yeah, it will remove everything that was inside of the page for Gutenberg section. So if we go back to our posts dashboard, go back to our posts and look into this page. We do have our post available, but it's not available in build Darius. And if we add something in here, let's add a simple text inside of our main page and make changes to the text as well. And if we hit save and then publish to live, because that's the way that we should do it, or do some releases, that's also possible. And we go back to our posts. I wonder if the information is still there. It looks like it is. So that's a really nice thing. So it wouldn't influence what you have on your page as well. But if we look at the version that is available right now, it's this one. And also when we change the version to live site, we see that only the Buildarius content will be shown right now. We can change the Buildarius content. And if we look at the front by then, if we look at the developed version, we see that the old version is set back. So be aware that if you're using them both, you can only view one version. I think this is different when we do that in Elementor or something else. So let's try that out as well, because I'm very curious actually. So let's delete Buildarius. I'm wondering, let's try Tom Saunders. If you were unaware, Blockera will pull colors from core framework. Oh, that's nice. If you have it installed, it does not yet pull variables for font sizing or spacing, hopefully in the near future. It does the same thing. That's awesome. That's very nice to know that it uses core framework, because I'm really fan of what they are doing and how they are doing, especially together with the Figma files. It will save a lot of time. I hope that Elementor in some time for the future will also implement core framework as well, because I'm using Elementor at work. So it's not my favorite tool still for now. Perhaps it will change when they have classes, but I hope they will have support for that. Let's go back to this one, because now, is there still a conflict of plugins? Let's see. We see that it is working right now. So it really was a conflict of plugins. And if we remove this one and add a default color, hit save. Now we have changed it to purple. And if we go back, it is purple. So it was a conflict build areas. That's very good to know. Let's remove these sections. So as you can see, you can make changes to one pattern, and then it will be changed over the whole space. And what I'm really excited about is that we can have the granular control that we would like to have to make every change possible, instead of, for instance, we want to add shadows. If I remember correctly, that's not available when we're using the basic mode. You can also switch to the basic mode if you would like to. You could go to the basic mode and you go in here, and here are the color settings that we can set up. We have our background color, we have our heading. Oh, we do have shadow. So they are adding a lot of things that I didn't expect them to do. And it's also nice to know that you always can change back to a other version. If we want to go back into advanced mode, there we have advanced mode. Let's collapse all. Let's see. Those are all available. And we can add custom CSS, but we need a pro version. I'm sad. But let's see how this works with, for instance, Elementor. It does. I have to try again. We're adding support step by step. Nice. If you edit in the block editor and then Elementor will convert everything to the text editor. That's true. Interesting. I guess there needs to be a discussion between the Buildarius team and Blockera team. Yeah, but why would you use both of them? You're typing too much, Dave. Now I have to stand up a little bit too, so you can see me still. This was the first time we saw this issue. Nice. That's why I love doing these live streams, right? Just checking out how things go and if it goes smoothly. So there are a few things that we need to figure out how this works. Let's see if I can make this work if I change the domain name. Maybe I should switch to this one first, and then let's see if we go. So we close those. I go back to InstaWP. You can see it, by the way. It's not big of a it's not big of a issue. Let's see if we go in here and we select this one. Maybe it has issues with the XYZ. I can't see, because I've seen Blockera Pro working in a version as well. It's unsafe. I guess they need to set up SSL for it. It doesn't look like it's happy with me trying to activate the Pro version for now. So I'm very sorry. You have this. I need to show the Blockera Pro version in the next live stream, perhaps, or maybe in a video. So if you don't want to miss it out, then hit subscribe to the button, and then I will check out Blockera Pro as well. I couldn't show it right now, which is a little bit of a bummer, but sometimes it is what it is, right? And you can do only what you can do at the point in time. However, if you're interested in what Blockera has to share, then go to the QR code again. Because like I said, there's a lot of things that are happening, more breakpoints, and all nice good stuff. Oh, I'm so very excited, especially with the style variation. Oh, please join their community as well, by the way. They are sharing what they're working on. It's not Edge, it's Blockera. And if you want a little bit of what's called insights and look into the future, this is what the style variations would look like. You can select a style variations right here. I am assuming that we can make changes as well, that we can add style variations in the section, and then can make the changes right here. Blocks inside, so we can style the blocks, and then we can see the style variation, and we can style them. For instance, default version, you can add style variations. I'm so very excited about that one. If you didn't know, you can also add styles right now, but it looks a little bit different. Let's see if we can go there really quick. We can go to editor, and here we have styles, and we can have a look at all the styles that are available. We can make adjustments to all of these things. If WordPress will continue on having this design for the whole WordPress system, it's just, that's really awesome, because this just looks so good. It really does. I like it so much. It's a shame that they have put back the amount of hours they can invest into it. Here we can set text. Yeah, here it is. And if we select text, we have some options right here. And I can imagine that you can add style variations in here and select them. So I'm very excited about that one coming up. So please join their, So please join their community so you can have a glimpse into the future. Also for the dynamic values, you can add dynamic items inside of your text, which is really awesome. I hope it will support Jet Engine as well, because I'm using that privately. What it says here: ACF fields, MetaBox, toolset, Bloxy, and pods. I'm a little bit disappointed. No Jet Engine. I guess I have to use the ACF free or pods, because I don't have MetaBox. Maybe you can talk to the people of MetaBox as well to see if we can do something for them. To see if this works with, and how this works with the Blockera. And if we want to see other things that are already available or in testing, optimize style generator. So this is for how styles will be added. Let's see, block editor without Blockera, the codes are in line. Yeah. And block editor using Blockera, it will get some nice. And it would be nice that you can add your custom CSS. Now I can see that happening. But it's nice that the inline codes of block editor forced us to use import. Oh, that's horrible. It's a really horrible experience. In the new version, the inline CSS codes are removed and all codes move to the page header tag. That's nice. And for debugging, it will be nice that you can see where this is set. So having a CSS class will be very helpful. And we can try it out in the optimized style generations. That's nice. So we can already test that one out. And the Pro version has been released for release candidate 4. Maybe I need to download the recent one. Maybe that's the issue. And as we can see here, a pattern library will be added. So if you like Oxy Ninja or whatsoever, you can use it as well. They will add animations, have a icon block for the button. So that's nice that you can add that, and have a step-by-step onboarding experience. That is also really nice. That's something that you really need to have if you just want to get started with something like this. So I'm getting pretty tired, and some things still happen. Yeah, fully featured video of the Pro would be awesome. Yeah, I will check out when the Pro version works. I will check it out. While the Block Pro is a v1.0 RC4, there's still some bugs that we want to fix for the release. Sorry about the issue that happened. I thank you for your apology, Ali. But it's fine. It's what you get when you test out release versions, right? Release candidates. Then some things still break and not everything is working as expected. It's part of it. It's fine. That's it. And we can do it another time. We have all the time in the world, so don't worry about it. Can you post a link in the chat as well? Yes, of course. Thank you for asking that, Blockera Pro. If you consider the Pro version, it will be in the chat soon. See ya, Jimmy. Thank you for joining. And let's take a sip of this one. I really liked looking into Blockera again, and also into Gutenberg. I think the mix of both the Pro version and just having the ability to power up your core Gutenberg blocks is really amazing. Then using a theme like the Ollie theme to set up the wizard, set up the colors, which makes it fantastically easy, is something that is really awesome. There was also a question from the YouTube channel: can the settings be configured per user role so my clients can only edit the text, or for example? I haven't tried it out at all. So let's see if we can find that inside of the settings. So we go back again, we go to general settings, and we can enable or disable the Blockera blocks. So I am assuming that still you have some things that you can change, and it doesn't seem like I can enable this right now. So I'm very curious if you can configure what you can do per role. And maybe there's something already available in the Gutenberg editor space as well, that they can only edit text. I guess that's something you would like to fix in the Gutenberg editor, right? Instead of relying on Blockera to fix that, there could be a separate plugin that you can only use patterns instead of adding blocks as well. Maybe that's something that could be very awesome. All right, that's a little bit it for this live stream. I see that we have 54 minutes of live streaming already. I will look back at the quality of this live stream and need to see if this is good enough actually to be used, especially because there's some changes that I'm using Wave.video, and I'm very curious how it looks afterwards and how it was also on the other channels. If you haven't heard about Wave.video, it is a streaming platform that you can use, and then using that right now for Blockera. All right. I hope that this video helped you out with getting an understanding what Blockera does specifically, what issues it fixed, and hopefully in the future we can look at Pro version as well. For now, next week I've planned to look at Web Studio because I'm very interested in the animations. I also want to look at the web animation, scroll animation library. I saw a demo today on X, so let's go to X. Ooh, where is it? X.com. And I shared it there because I was actually very excited about it. Let's see, in notifications, we have a repost. Thank you, Ollie. I rewatched this version from Google I/O where they showcased what can be done in the web environment in the future. And that looks very awesome. I really recommend just looking at what is possible. And so for next week, I really want to try out looking into the web animation stuff, see what is possible, and I want to try out the polyfill as well for CSS animations, scroll animations. So if you're interested in that as well, please come back next week. And as always, keep designing. Oh, I see there's still one message. We named that feature the editing feature. And that's in the second most requested feature we will start developing soon. Awesome. Editing feature. Keep designing, guys. And thank you for joining.